You know, the blueberry pickers knew what to do. They didn't go looking for new blueberries every year, new blueberry bushes. They came here. They came here for decades to get the blueberries that they knew were here. That's what you want to do with your customers. You want to come to an area where you know your customers are. Hey, it's Chef Marcus Guiliano, your favorite restaurant marketing coach. If you follow me, you know I love marketing. I'm a restaurant owner. I like to help other restaurant owners. And I'm just out here today, out in the wilderness. Look at this. This is on top of a mountain in the Shawangunk mountain range in New York. Look at those clouds back there. Pretty impressive. And out here for a run. It's about 90 degrees on the lake. This is rattlesnake country, by the way. A lot of timber rattler snakes. So under rocks like that, you got to be careful. And they will be out here sunbathing. I've only seen one this year. This is bear country too. I've seen about 7-8 bears this year. So, but I want to talk to you today about marketing your restaurant. Marketing your restaurant is the key to success. Balancing your life there's a lot of keys to success. There's a lot of keys to being a successful restaurant owner. When I do things like this, my creative juices flow. And I'm thinking about how I can help myself market, and I'm thinking about how I can help others market their restaurants, right? Thinking about how I can impact more people, reach more people, and just help people grow their business. So let's talk today about what's the first thing I did this morning in my business. What's the very first thing I do every morning in my business, typically? That's market my business. So many amazing chefs, so many talented chefs that can just, just their palates, their work ethic, their experience. They're fantastic chefs, but when they open restaurants, it just doesn't work. Now, some of those fantastic chefs get lots of money. They get $5 million to open a restaurant, and they can hire experts to do everything. They can hire an expert to market, brand, build their website. They can pay $5,000 for it. But most restaurant owners aren't that fortunate. They're not that blessed to have deep, deep pockets. The number one reason restaurants fail is because they just don't have enough money. They don't have enough startup capital. I started with $50,000. I took another $15,000 loan on top of that. So I had about $65,000 to open my restaurant with. That was 15 years ago. Folks, that's unheard of. You don't open a restaurant with $65,000 and expect to succeed. Every odds was against me to succeed. I ran out of money within the first 3-4 months. I ran out of money. The next month I ran out of money. The next month I ran out of money. This was a vicious cycle for the first couple of years until I learned this key secret. That was how do I get myself out of the kitchen? Or how do I pull myself out of the kitchen a little bit and focus on bringing in more revenue into my restaurant? And more revenue comes with marketing techniques. Marketing techniques are just super important. So these chefs that go in with all this money, they have that. They have that at their disposal. They can hire an ad specialist. They can hire a branding specialist. They can hire all that kind of stuff. But you and me, average people here, we open restaurants underfunded. So what do we have to do? We have to work so hard, and we don't take time to market our restaurant. And then we say to ourselves, we've tried everything possible and the numbers just aren't working. It's just not a good equation. And from there, we end up closing our restaurants, a lot of people. Just close our restaurants and say, I tried everything, just didn't work. In reality, if you're a restaurant owner, you need to be a marketing maniac. You need to be a marketing guru. You need to be either delegate that out to somebody who can do it, or you need to be on it. If you're not on the marketing, your restaurant is teetering failing, because there's another restaurant that's going to outmarket you. There's another restaurant that's more overcapitalizing you. There's another restaurant that's doing that so much better than you are. So how can you do it as an independent restaurateur? You have to be able to figure out how to. So I would do it differently if it was today. I would do it totally differently if it was today. I would, if I opened a restaurant today and I was underfunded, then it was limited money, I would take some of that money right up in front, right up from the beginning, and hire somebody to actually be help me build my database. Number one database is the most important thing in a restaurant, in any business. Before you open your doors, you need a database. And I teach my coaching clients how to get a database 6 months before they open the door and how to have 1,000 people in there, 2,000 people. So when you have your grand opening, you can just email people and say, hey, come join me at my grand opening. Hey, this is when our opening date, this is our soft opening, hard opening, big party, small party. We're open for business, we're open for lunch now, there's our specials. I teach restaurateurs how to build that database. That's the number one thing that has to be done first. And then I would take some money and I say, okay, let's get some ads out there and do some Facebook marketing, do some digital marketing where we can be so specific and target people with birthdays, because birthdays are like the number one reason people go out to eat is for their birthday. So I would say let's put something in place like that. We can do certain triggers, people's birthdays, people's demographics, where they live, their likes, so the craft beer drinkers, and I got a good craft beer list. Things like that. Are they wine drinkers? And we're doing these great wine pairings and wine flights and great wine by the glass. So I would target some of those people, absolutely. The third thing I would do is I keep building my database. I keep building my database within my restaurant. So when people walk into my restaurant, I'd be like, okay, now you've come to eat with me. What can we do now to get your information so I can market to you again and add you to my database? So notice the key here is database management, database building. You want people in your pipeline. Do you know it's 6 times easier to get somebody in your restaurant the second time versus the first time? So why would you go fish a new pond every time? You might want to experiment and say, hey, it's on the 6th or 7th day, let's go fish a new pond. But every day, don't be fishing a new pond every day. You want to go deep. You want to dig into that pond that you know where the fish are. And that pond is the people that have already come to your restaurant to eat. So, head over to my site, 50mistakes.com, 50mistakes.com. There's a ton of stuff over there for you to learn from. There's tips, tricks, techniques. It's a lot of my popular stuff. In fact, you can get my book for free. If you go to 50mistakes.com, 50mistakes.com, you can also head over to restaurantmastercoach.biz. My free book is there. Just pay for shipping, and I don't have my book here because like I said, I'm out in the wilderness. I'll show you what my book looks like, but I don't have it here. Get my book. It's free. Like I said, it's free. You just pay the shipping, and I'll ship that right to you. I'll ship that right out to you. And get on there. I got lots of videos. I got tips, tricks, techniques. If you want to step your game up one more, you subscribe to my newsletter. I got a great newsletter that's got amazing stuff in it. I give you access to one of the largest databases of restaurant info that's out there available in probably the whole world. There's no other. I give you access to a site in my newsletter that will literally give you the most access to any other kind of restaurant documents, templates, webinars, audio stuff, how to market this, how to do that, how to set up an email list. It has tons and tons of all that kind of stuff. I'm actually in blueberry country too. I'm in blueberry and huckleberry country. These are wild huckleberries. Man, they are so good. It's end of August right now. They are super ripe. They're just sitting out here. A lot of the season's gone here for the blueberries and huckleberries. But until the 60s, there's actually a blueberry and huckleberry industry up here in the Shawangunk Mountains. People would camp out for a month in the summertime. They have shacks. There's shacks just on the other side of the ridge here, where people would come up and live for the summer and pick blueberries and make a living off of picking wild blueberries. These are all blueberry bushes all around. So, the blueberry pickers knew what to do. They didn't go looking for new blueberries every year, new blueberry bushes. They came here. They came here for decades to get the blueberries that they knew were here. That's what you want to do with your customers. You want to come to an area where you know your customers are, and customers are in your database, the database that you've built, that I'm going to teach you how to build through my website, through the book. That's all in there. In fact, the number one step in my book, there's 50 mistakes in my book that I see most restaurateurs making, business people in general. There's 50 mistakes. The first one, the very, very first one, is how to build a database. You got to build your database. It's your number one asset. So do you think these huckleberry and blueberry pickers went to look for a new database every year? Do you think they went to look for a new area next year? Only if this area dried up would they go look for a new area. But why? They came here for decades. There's 100,000 acres of blueberry fields on this mountain. It's insane. So why would they look anywhere else for blueberries when they got it all right here? That's how I'm going to teach you how to look for your clients, for your guests that are coming into your restaurant. They're already there. You have them. Let's utilize them. Let's get them back in. I wish there were more blueberries right now. Blueberry season has kind of come to an end here. A little hungry. But hey, go check out my book. Go check out that link, 50mistakes.com. Shoot me any questions.